Hi YouTube friends and teachers, this is Elizabeth with an S, and I know it is the middle of the school, well not the middle of the school year, but a couple months into the school year, and I wanted to do a planner update for my Erin Condren Teacher Planner. I know we're all super busy, haven't really seen many teachers posting about their planners, obviously because they're so busy working. But I am on half term this week, and so I just thought it would be an ideal time to kind of discuss some of the pros and cons that I've seen as I've been using the teacher planner. So first of all, let me say I'm so thankful for this laminated cover. It has gotten a bit scuffed and scratched, but everything inside has been kept nice and neat. So I really do appreciate the nice thick laminated cover. I have not used this dashboard at all. I haven't used the back dashboard either. So, I mean, it's laminated, that's great, but I've not really used it in any way. Now, originally, I did have my pencil pouch here in the very front of the book, and I have some Sharpie markers and some other Erin Condren markers in there. But as you can see, it really makes the book quite bulky. So I don't really keep it in here. It just stays in the folio cover, and I just kind of carry it around without the pencil case stuck in. I've utilized this page, it's all about me page, so I have some things covered with my passwords and things like that. But I don't let this book out of my sight, and actually this has come in quite handy for me because I've forgotten a few of my passwords, so that is really great. I forget what this page was. I think it was a volunteers page or something like that. Anyway, I'm a secondary teacher, so I don't have volunteers coming into my classroom. So this is my timetable, and I've color-coded it by the year group that I teach. So I've got my year 11 bios in like this, I don't know, purpley pink color. I've got my year 8 chemistry in orange. I got my year 10 bios in blue, my year 7 sciences in purple, and my year 8 bios in green. So that's just how I've color coded my classes, and you'll see that again later on. And then my bell schedule for the school is there. This has been coming so handy to have this stuck in my book, so I'm really glad that I did that. Now for the contact pages, I've not used them yet. I've changed it to a parent consultation log. And a parent consultation is what we have at the end of each term, where parents come in when we're giving out reports and talk to the teachers. So I'll just keep a log of the parents who come and of course those who do not come, and I will then be able to contact the ones who do not come later on. And probably, as all teachers know, those are the parents that we need to see the most. So that's really why I'm keeping this, this log happening. Then my year overview, I set it up at the beginning of the year. Not too many changes except for the occasional public holiday that springs up. So so we had a public holiday on October 10th. We'll have another one on December 12th, but basically everything else is like along with the school year as far as the half-term holiday and, you know, term breaks and that sort of thing. So that's done. Now my year plan, I use the same color coding for my classes and just put in the topics that we're up to in each of the months, so that way I kind of have an idea of how the year is going to flow, and then next year I can kind of use this to help myself plan a bit better. Now my graph paper I was going to use for seating charts, and as you can see, I had mapped out all the classrooms and the labs that I used during the course of the week, but I did not get to put the students' names in. Now they all have assigned seats, but I got really sick and had to be in the hospital for a week, and then I was out another week out of school for recovery, And so it just never happened. And I'm not actually back to teaching these classes yet anyway. So when I get back from half term, we'll see how that goes. For my lined pages, what I decided to do was keep track of all my professional developments, just keep adding to my professional developments, and then textbook registration. We have sheets that we have, but I wanted it all in one place so that way I could just check and make sure that the things are there. Now I would have preferred to use graph paper for this, so I really would love to see more graph paper in next year's book. But okay, this is what it is, it's there. Now, my spread for my plan, this was my intention to use Post-it notes, vertical view, and so what I did was, I did that. And you can see here my classes on the side, dates along the top, and my Post-it notes that I printed out on the computer. And if you go back to a previous video, I show how I do this. Basically I have a template and I type up everything on the template, put the sticky notes on, and put it through the printer, and it prints out pretty good. My monthly spreads for the month, basically I do my personal things and my school things, so I don't see anything overlapping. I usually keep this dashboard as a checklist in this spot along with something else that I take notes in the morning on. But I haven't moved this yet because I'm still in October. But when we get back to school, we'll be in November for the most part. So I do have this dashboard, which you might recognize as the plastic backing for the Erin Condren Post-it notes. I did buy them. I found them super bulky when this thing was in the planner, so I didn't really like it. And then it was not a very high quality. The papers were falling off. The sticky wasn't sticking onto the planner really well. So I just scrapped the whole thing. I tossed them out, cleaned this off, and now I just use one of the Erin Condren wet markers on it. In the morning, we have briefing every morning with all the announcements for the students, because we have what's called form time, our homeroom, right at the start of the day, so we give the students all the announcements. So I just take all my notes on there, I give my announcements, and then before the end of the day, I just clean it off. And I can just use like surgical spirits with a little napkin, all comes off clean, and then we're back in for the next day. So saving a tree there. The other thing that I did do was I put our term calendars into the planner. What I did was I laminated them, and then I DIY'd the coil punches, and then they just go right into the planner, and I have them there. I usually stick them at the beginning of the month, right before the month tab, so that way I can refer to what I need to refer to that's going on for the term. So there are the one for prep, one for secondary, and there's my November monthly. So, and we're ready to go for November. Now, I did say that I was doing the vertical planning. Let me just turn back. So this was the last week before I actually got sick and had to go into the hospital. So this is how it looked. Teach 3 lessons of year 11, 3 lessons of year 10 with 2 classes, 1 lesson of year 8 bio with 2 lessons a week. I teach 3 sections of year 8 chemistry, that's 2 lessons a week, and year 7 science, 3 sections of that, 2 lessons a week also. So basically what I was doing was I was just picking up the Post-its and moving it to the appropriate day as I was getting ready for the day. So I just know what I needed to do for each day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. What I decided to do starting next week is I am going to try the horizontal planning. So I have my date stickers, and for each day, for the classes that I will be teaching, which I'm not back to my full schedule yet because of my back. So Monday I'll only be teaching periods 2, 7, and 8 in addition to my form group or homeroom. Tuesday I'll be teaching 2, 3, 4, 6, etc. So I'll be picking up I already have picked up my year 11 bios, and so I've just marked them, where they are and the lesson for the particular day. And then I have not yet gotten to the post-it notes, but I will do my post-it notes and stick them on just to kind of see how the horizontal planning goes. I'm not really sure which one I like better. And then I usually keep my ruler in the week that I am teaching, so it's just an easy access to that when I need to. I am keeping this last column for my form group right now. There's plenty of space for notes, which actually I don't really write anything there except for some reminders like my duty on Wednesday at lunchtime. Because I don't have to write so much. Tuesday we have assemblies, Wednesday is service learning, Thursday is career day, so I don't have to like put anything special in those days. So I didn't want to give an entire huge square just for those small little things. Yeah, and then we'll just see how it goes. One of the other things that I was using were checklist pages, and it was going really well until I had to go to the hospital. So yeah, everything kind of stopped when I got sick. So we'll see what happens when I go back to school next week. And so anyway, so for the checklist pages for my form group, basically I was using it for reply slips. Like they get forms, they'd have to return them, that kind of thing. Who returned them, who didn't return them. For my classes, what I was doing internal attendance, because we have a system, but it's not quite up and running the way I think I could use it to the best of my ability. So I just do an internal attendance check, and I have that for all of my classes. I bought the little tabs that you can stick on from Erin Condren. So I have one for each class, and I have the kids' names on there, and yep, so that's how I'm using the checklist pages. So there's a lot of those in there. So it is quite a bulky book, which is the main downfall for me because I walk around to a lot of different classes. I'm not like in one room, and my book is on the table and it's just open. So that is one of the main issues. What I did was I took out all the stickers pages and cut them up and put them into another pencil case with some other stickers that I use all the time when I'm setting up my pages. So those are there. And this little flap, and then this what is it, page protector. I just have a few sort of other bigger stickers that fit in here. One of my main, I don't really use this very often to protect papers because I teach in a British school. We use A4 size paper, and A4 size paper is not 8.5 by 11. It's like thinner. It's like 8 1/4 and longer than 11. So basically it would stick up to here, which is not ideal. So I decided I'm not going to really use it for that. And then, like I said, I haven't used this dashboard at all. So the planner is great. It kind of keeps everything in one place for me, which I really like. It's sturdy, and the pages are really nice and thick. The stickers are amazing. The dashboards fit in really nicely. If I have to, I can make my own dashboards. So there's a lot of pros, I feel, to using this type of planner. There's two sort of cons. One is that it's really fat and bulky. I would really love if there were a way to take pages out but then put them back in later without having to uncoil and recoil the planner. So that's one thing. It is rather bulky and thick. And the other thing is the size of these squares. For a secondary teacher, this is not enough space. It's just not enough. So the ideal situation would be to have one whole page per day of the week. Now I know that will even more increase the bulk of the planner, but in all seriousness, that's what a secondary teacher needs. They need a whole page for Monday, a whole page for Tuesday, etc., and so forth. Like for me, I probably would prefer that to having all the checklist pages that I have. I would get rid of the checklist pages, and I would just stick with the daily pages. So, I mean, one of the options that I am looking at is the Petite Planner and Folio, because it is a daily situation. So I'll see what I'll figure out as I go through the course of the year, but I just wanted to give you an update on how I'm using the planner. I really like it. I use it all the time. Everyone at school loves it. They're like, where'd you get this thing? I want to get one. And so anyway, it's too bad, we're in East Africa and we can't get things like this shipped here very easily. Otherwise, I'm sure like half the teachers at school would already have bought one. So I do consider myself lucky that I am able to get back to the U.S. Every summer, and I can get things like this and use them, because it really is a wonderful item. With a few tweaks, it could be even better. So teachers, let me know what you think. Comment whether I post this on Facebook or it's in YouTube. Just leave a comment. What do you think about your lesson planner? What are some things that you're thinking that would be better? Especially secondary teachers, that would be ideal. What do you think would make this planner better for you? That, I think, is something that Erin Condren really needs to hear from us, because we love her quality and the beautiful stickers and the beautiful covers, but it really needs to work for us. And for someone like me who teaches 23 lessons in a week, I can't really spread out all over the planner like I know that I've seen some other teachers do. For example, they use like 2 blocks of space, and that's really great, but I can't do that. So, yeah. Anyway, hope that you liked my video, and I think this probably will be the last planner video that I post until next summer when I get my new planner, whatever it may be. So anyway, hope you have a great weekend, teachers, and see you around next time.